Mr. Chairman, thank you for the invitation to talk about this initiative. So what really spurred this initiative was several experiences I had in my first couple of years as a BHF chair in cardiac surgery. The first of those was to be asked to come and speak at the Society of Vascular Surgeons for their BHF-sponsored research event. And I found it quite odd that they would have a BHF-sponsored research event and that we wouldn't. And then I went and made some representations to them about what their investment was in cardiac surgery research. And they said, well, we don't fund cardiac surgery research because you don't do any and you don't submit any grants. And any grants that we do get are so poor that they're not worth considering. And I said, well, why don't you set up some special fellowships and see how many applications you get? And they said, we did set up a special fellowship and no one applied. And as someone who spent a decade trying to get money from the British Heart Foundation, I found that very surprising that I didn't know about this. And I became aware that there's a communication issue around how we invest in research, in cardiac surgery research, but probably also on the other major subspecialties of cardiothoracic surgery. And then following that, I had a conversation with the Royal College of Surgeons. And they told me, well, you know, what you guys in cardiac surgery need to do is you need to start getting together and doing some trials. Because if you could do some multi-center trials, then we might start thinking that cardiac surgery was worth investing in. And I'm sort of going, well, we just published the ARCH trial. And then we also published the Tyler 2 trial. And then we published the ERICA trial. And these are big multi-center randomized controlled trials that have shaped cardiac surgery. Probably 3 of the most important cardiac surgical trials in the last 5 years were conducted in UK cardiac surgery centres by UK cardiac surgeons. So I thought we had to make a difference. We had to do something to try and change the way we're perceived by people who have the funding and how we are communicating and networking with all these different stakeholders in research. So I made representations to our executive, and they were very open to the suggestion that we have a new academic and research committee. And the purpose of this committee is really to network between funders, surgeons, the committee, industry and trainees who may want to get involved in research. And that's simply, we're not going to be telling people what to do, we're not going to be running our own trials. It's a way of making sure that these initiatives are being made aware, are being publicised and made aware to everyone who might be able to influence the way we do cardiac surgery research. So we set up a multi-specialty panel that has representatives from all the major subspecialties, so transplant, congenital, and thoracic surgery. We've got representations from the trainees, the NTNs, and the SAC, because obviously we want to make sure that training is recognised within our current training structures. And we've had excellent responses from all of those members, and we'll have our second committee meeting tomorrow. And we've had our first measurable output from this initiative, so after conversations with the BHF and also with members of the Vascular Society, we're having a joint cardiovascular research workshop on the 18th of, that should be April actually, not August. And we've got international speakers coming to inform the BHF how they can support cardiovascular research. And hopefully what we'll see is there's some schemes within the British Heart Foundation that can support funding. And I have asked the other members of the panel, the thoracic representatives and the congenital representatives, to try and start similar initiatives so that we can see some investment in our trials and, most importantly, in our young trainees so that they can get involved in training and high-quality research, training and high-quality research at a younger age. So thank you very much for your time, and I'm open to questions after this. Thank you.